In the shadowy corners of London's Drury Lane, a chilling tale was about to unfold. A tale that would send shivers down the spines of the most hardened true crime enthusiasts and haunt the dreams of the faint-hearted. Drury Lane, a bustling hub of Elizabethan London, was home to a vibrant mix of people: merchants, artisans, and the occasional miscreant. A place where the clatter of horse-drawn carriages and the laughter of street vendors filled the air, and the cobblestone streets echoed with the footsteps of both the innocent and the nefarious. It was between the years of 1589 and 1598 that a certain individual began to cast a long, unsettling shadow over this lively neighborhood. A man who, on the surface, seemed as ordinary and unassuming as the rest. His name was Frederick Thomas Linwood, but to the locals and in time to the annals of crime history, he would be known by a far more sinister moniker: the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man, a playful nickname that conjures up images of a jovial baker, a purveyor of sweet treats, a friend to all children. A name that seems more suited to a character in a nursery rhyme than to a figure shrouded in darkness and mystery. But as we delve deeper into the enigma of Drury Lane, we'll find that the Muffin Man was anything but what his name suggested. And so, our story begins, in a time of ruffled collars and candle-lit streets, in an era when the line between good and evil was as clear as the Thames on a foggy night, in a place where every corner held a secret and every shadow could be hiding a predator. Little did the innocent people of Drury Lane know, the Muffin Man was far from a jovial baker. The echoes of his chilling deeds would reverberate through the centuries, turning a seemingly harmless nickname into a symbol of unimaginable horror. His tale is a stark reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected of places, even behind the warm, inviting glow of a baker's oven. Frederick Thomas Linwood, a name that would soon instill fear in the hearts of many. Born in the late 16th century, Linwood was, by all accounts, a typical child of his time. Raised in the bustling and chaotic borough of Drury Lane, he would grow up to be a baker, a profession respected and revered in the community. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly ordinary man brewed a storm of darkness. As he matured, Linwood struggled with an insatiable desire for power and control. It was this thirst that would lead him down a path of unimaginable horror. He was reported to have been a charming and charismatic man, with a knack for storytelling and a love for baked goods. His muffins were the talk of the town, their sweet aroma wafting through the streets of Drury Lane. But hidden beneath the allure of these delicacies was a sinister plot. His descent into crime was not sudden, but rather a gradual transformation. The first signs of his malevolent intentions surfaced when children started disappearing from the streets of Drury Lane. Each child shared a common thread. They were last seen with a muffin in hand, a treat gifted by the seemingly harmless baker. As the disappearances continued, whispers of suspicion began to circulate, but Linwood's charm and his delicious muffins kept the community in a state of denial. It was this very charm that allowed him to lure his unsuspecting victims into the darkness. From a seemingly ordinary man, Linwood transformed into something much more sinister. The Muffin Man, as he would later be known, was born. His tale, a chilling reminder of the evil that can lurk beneath the most ordinary of facades, continues to haunt the memories of Drury Lane, echoing through the centuries. His story serves as a stark reminder that not all monsters lurk in the shadows. Some are hidden in plain sight behind the allure of a simple muffin. As the Muffin Man, Linwood devised a cruel and cunning method to ensnare his victims. The simplicity of his modus operandi belied its sinister nature. You see, Linwood used a muffin tied on a string as a lure. This seemingly innocent baked good was the bait for an unimaginable trap. The muffin, warm and enticing, was to a child a symbol of comfort, a promise of a treat. And this is exactly what Linwood exploited. He would wander the streets of Drury Lane, the muffin bobbing along behind him, drawing the attention of the children playing nearby. They would follow him, entranced by the sweet smell and the promise of a treat. But the treat was a lie, and the promise was a trap. Linwood would lead the children into dark, narrow alleys, far from the prying eyes of any passerby. And there, in the shadows, the unimaginable would occur. The exact number of Linwood's victims is unknown. Some sources suggest as many as 15 children fell prey to the Muffin Man during the 9 years he stalked the streets of Drury Lane. But regardless of the exact number, each victim added to the growing terror that gripped the community. Parents became fearful, warning their children to stay away from strangers, especially any offering treats. The once bustling streets grew quiet as families kept their children inside, afraid of the lurking danger. The Muffin Man had transformed Drury Lane into a place of fear. And yet, despite the dread, life went on. People went about their daily routines, hoping to avoid the fate that had befallen so many. But beneath the surface of normality, the terror persisted, a constant reminder of the danger that lurked. The innocent allure of a simple muffin became a harbinger of doom. The Muffin Man had turned a symbol of comfort into a sign of dread, a reminder of the evil that can lurk in the most mundane of places. But every reign of terror must come to an end. As the body count rose, so did the public's fear and the pressure on law enforcement. The authorities started to piece together the grim puzzle. The one common thread? Muffins. Muffins found at crime scenes. Muffins seen in the hands of missing children last seen alive. The evidence was circumstantial, but it was a start. The investigation into the Muffin Man's crimes intensified. Law enforcement officials were relentless in their pursuit, scouring the city for any trace of the elusive killer. They interviewed hundreds of residents, chased countless leads, and examined every crumb of evidence. The break they needed came from an unlikely source, a local baker who had been supplying the Muffin Man with his deadly bait. The baker, plagued by guilt and fear, finally confessed his part in the horrifying tale. He led the authorities to the Muffin Man's lair, a dank hidden cellar beneath his shop on Drury Lane. There, amidst the eerie silence, they discovered the chilling truth about the Muffin Man. Frederick Thomas Linwood, the man behind the muffin, was arrested in the late hours of a cold November night. His capture sent shockwaves through the city. The monster that had cast a shadow of fear over Drury Lane was finally behind bars. The public's reaction was a mix of relief, horror, and disbelief. How could such a heinous criminal have hidden in plain sight? In the aftermath of the Muffin Man's capture, a city tried to heal. Parents held their children a little tighter, bakers scrutinized their customers a little more closely, and the children of Drury Lane learned a bitter lesson about the dangers that could lurk in the most innocent of places. The trial of the Muffin Man was swift and decisive. The evidence was overwhelming, and the jury needed little time to deliver their verdict: guilty. The Muffin Man was sentenced to hang, his death marking the end of a dark chapter in the city's history. As the Muffin Man's dark tale came to an end, Drury Lane could finally breathe a sigh of relief. The Muffin Man's reign of terror may have ended, but his legacy continues to haunt us. The grim tale of Frederick Thomas Linwood, a seemingly benign baker who turned out to be a ruthless murderer, has left an indelible imprint on our collective consciousness. His heinous crimes led to a profound shift in societal attitudes during the late 16th century. Parents began to keep their children closer to home, and the once bustling streets of Drury Lane became eerily silent after sundown. The Muffin Man's reign of terror had effectively ended the era of innocence. The authorities, shocked by the audacity of Linwood's modus operandi, introduced stricter laws and regulations pertaining to street vendors. This was a significant turning point in public safety policies, as the government recognized the need for more stringent measures to protect the most vulnerable members of society. The Muffin Man also left a lasting impact on popular culture. His story has been recounted in countless books and films, making him a dark icon of true crime. The Muffin Man nursery rhyme, believed to be a cautionary tale inspired by Linwood's crimes, still sends a chill down our spines, reminding us of the horrifying events that unfolded on Drury Lane. Moreover, the Muffin Man's tale continues to be a subject of fascination for criminologists and psychologists alike. His case has provided valuable insights into the mind of a serial killer, contributing significantly to our understanding of criminal psychology. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of the Muffin Man's legacy is the enduring fear he instilled. His story serves as a stark reminder that danger can lurk where we least expect it, even in the most mundane and seemingly innocent scenarios. Frederick Thomas Linwood, the Muffin Man, remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places.